Yes, people. Welcome to LRFC. The season is over. Season 2023-2024 is over. Manchester City are the champions. Um, and we had to say our farewell to some players, some of the backroom staff, and our manager, the greatest manager in the Premier League era, in my opinion, at Liverpool Football Club. It doesn't have to be my opinion. It could be, it's the truth. It's the truth. Um, you know, yesterday I never thought I'll actually have tears in my eyes, and I did. It really ruined me, guys, boys and girls. It really ruined me. But yeah, please hit that subscription button, notification button, like button, all that good stuff, and get the comments coming. And we'll start with the Premier League, then we move on. Obviously, I'll give you a bit of a history lesson in regards to Liverpool, how it, where the success was, how it stopped, and how it restarted again. And then we say our goodbyes to the manager and the players and the staff, and then we're done. So yeah, let's do this, people. Let's do this. So as you can see in the Premier League, people, unfortunately, Man City are the champions of England once again. It's a regular thing that keeps happening on a consistent basis for some reason. Um, Listen, we might, not like the way the Premier League looks. We might not like, Man City winning on a consistent basis and all that stuff, but you got to give them credit for, winning the Premier League. And, and they got 115 charges against them, but nothing's happening so far. So until we find out they are guilty or not guilty, you got to give them credit. They've done the four title in a row this season, and credit is where credit is due. Pep Guardiola even had a tear in his eyes, about Klopp leaving as well, which we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into the rivalries as well. Um, yeah, it's been a strange season. Liverpool topped most of it. Arsenal, and Man City swapped a couple of times, and eventually Man City won the league. Look, you could see on the losses as well. Like Man City lost less than Arsenal and Liverpool. We drew too many. Like you look at Liverpool's always drawing. The issue we're having is the draws, isn't it? 10 draws in one season. That's not good enough to win a league, people. Um, Obviously, we had some suspicious decisions made against us, but we had the league in our hands and we still didn't win. You know what I mean? So we had 8 games to go. All we had to do is win those 8 games, then we become champions, and we didn't really do that. And the rest is history. Arsenal, took it to the last day, 2 points behind Man City. But once Man City go to top of the league, it's always going to be difficult for the next team. If you know what I mean, we know from experience. In a few seasons with Man City. So um, both teams have tried. Arsenal have tried. Liverpool have tried, but we're just not good enough. You know what I mean? We were just not good enough at the time, and Man City got their win as they always do, and now they made history, which is 4 league titles in a row. That's never been done before. They're breaking records as they're going along. I honestly think this is the worst Man City I've ever seen since they've been like successful. If you look at the players, there ain't that many world class players in that team, but yet as a team they go through stages of the season and start winning and winning the title and all that stuff. It's it's heartbreaking, like especially with a team like us who have been working hard in the last 9 years under Klopp to get to get to the level as Man City or probably beyond that. But we had obstacles along the way, as everybody knows. Pandemic happened, and then it stops teams like us, from progressing. And it is what it is. No excuses, but things happen for a reason, and um, Man City took advantage of that. If you look at it that way as well, like if we struggle in pandemic, Man City will struggle in pandemic because they've got that much money to spend. Even Pep Guardiola said it yesterday. He said when they were talking about Klopp and him, he said, "I've got a club here that helps me when I need help." You know what I mean? So, in regards to finance, and you could see it. You could see it, man. And at least he's honest about it. I mean, we're not making up that story. He's the Man City manager is honest about it. He said it. He said like he's got a club that helps him when he needs help, and it's the truth. And this is why they're successful. And this is why, they win league titles on a consistent basis. Can you do something about it? Well, if the rest of the Premier League, beats Man City, then you've got a chance of winning a title. But when Man City get into that winning momentum, it's impossible to actually stop them guys. You know what I mean? And that's what's happened in multiple seasons now. And Arsenal are finding that at the moment. Once you let Man City go top of you, it's impossible to catch them, and that's what's happened. I mean, congratulations by the way to Man City. I'm not here to make fun of them and all that stuff until the 115 charges happens against them. We just gotta like be respectful and give them their flowers. Unfortunately, I mean, it is what it is, but it is what it is. But yeah, there you go. 4-time champions, 4 in a row. Let me get to the comments as we go along because I want to talk about this next, what I've been through, and I'll tell you how it came about with Klopp being our manager. Big ups that man Stubbs, a great friend of the channel, great guy as well. Yeah, big up mate. Have a great show. Big up as always. Anton, everybody knows Anton. I've known him since we was kids. I'm 45, but we've known each other since we was infants. So yeah, there you go, people. This channel is all real. It's real people that's been known each other for years. So if anyone is saying to you, I supported Liverpool this long, Anton is my evidence here. You know what I mean? I'll tell Anton to tell you guys how long we've been following Liverpool together and all that stuff, and he'll tell you from his side as well. Yes. Man, it's hard. Jurgen Klopp, yeah. Thank you, Jurgen Klopp. Anton saying it's hard, guys. When our manager is leaving, and what we have to go through as well. Yeah, but please keep the comments coming in. Please hit the like button and subscribe button and all that good stuff as well. I'm only doing it on YouTube today. This is the way forward. We want to build a channel next season. It's going to be a big season for us, and the transfer shows are my favorite in the summer, and I'm going to try to bring you as much as I can as well. Yeah. So let me say to you like how it all started for me and how it led to Jurgen Klopp as our manager. So when I was a kid, obviously I was born in Bob Paisley as a manager, and Joe Fagan. I could only remember bits about Joe Fagan's team. You know what I mean? They did the treble, obviously, and after that, Kenny took over as a player manager, won the league as a player manager. He scored that goal against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, at Old Stamford Bridge, and won us the title. He was gradually building a team which became, the team of the 80s with John Aldridge, John Barnes, Peter Beardsley, Ray Houghton, and all those guys, Steve McMahon, Ronnie Whelan, Alan Hansen, Steve Nicol. There's so many players I could name in those days that we enjoyed watching at Liverpool Football Club. But, things happen along the way, the Hillsborough disaster, and Kenny went to all 96 funerals. It was difficult for him, and, he announced that he was going to leave. A lot of people said, let's give him, 6 months off, and then, we bring him back to the football club. I wish they did that. I wish Ronnie Moran took over for 6 months, and he comes back as a manager because he needed that rest. A lot of stuff happened behind the scenes, after Hillsborough disaster, and it affected him, deeply. So this is why he left in the first spell. As we was like, winning titles on a consistent basis. Let's just put it that way. And Europe was, about to be reinstalled in England. Obviously, we know we was out of Europe for about 6 years. But yeah, we just didn't have the opportunity with Kenny Dalglish. Would Alex Ferguson be here if Kenny Dalglish was still there? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so, because I think Kenny Dalglish is the idea and the way he was progressing as a manager, a young manager as well, who just come out of playing, player manager to a manager. he could have actually made more historic achievements at Liverpool Football Club, but it just didn't. Like I said, what's meant to be is meant to be. You know what I mean, people? Look at that. Look how big this is. You know what I mean? I need this today. Yeah, so that's unfortunate, you know what I mean? And he left. He said that the job took him to the limit and he couldn't do it anymore. And then, we have to move on. We can't just stand still. Graham Souness came in. I think from Rangers, I believe. Glasgow Rangers, that is. He tried to change a lot of stuff so quick, the backroom stuff, to get rid of the boot room. It's kind of strange, you know what I mean? Because he was part of the boot room, you know what I mean? He got managed by the boot room, you know what I mean? So it was kind of strange, like when he tried to do things like that, trying to get us, to the modern day football right now, like stop eating steak before a game, stop drinking before the game, and all that stuff, yeah, as they used to do back in the day. And it just didn't work for some reason. And we only won an FA Cup with him, but he let go a lot of old players too soon, in my opinion. If he kept them, maybe it would have been different. If you know what I mean, if you kept those players, because when you try to change too quickly, it makes the squad thinner, and the experience of the players that was there at the time disappears. If you know what I mean, you can see it for this season as well. If you look at with that Henderson and Milner, if they were here in the last 10 games, would we struggle in the last 10 games? We haven't when they were here. You know what I mean? So that plays a part. If you know what I mean. And to me, the reason we lost the league this season is because of the lack of leadership. The leadership wasn't all there, and it affected us in a huge, huge way. Hence why in the last 8 games when we was top of the league, we didn't win the league. If you know what I mean. So yeah. Andrew says, I'm still crying for us. Listen, man, I was sponsored by Kleenex yesterday. I still got the tissue here, bro. Still got the tissues in my pocket in case I'm going to cry as I go along, if you know what I mean. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Please like and subscribe. Thank you, everyone. I want to, like, with Graham Souness, I've met Graham Souness a few times. I met him last time I met him was a few months ago, and we discussed him and Liverpool. He says Liverpool's still my football club. I love Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool means everything to me. You know what I mean? And as a player, they gave me everything. He said he just doesn't. It's sad. The way people turned on him. That's what he was upset about, if you know what I mean. And there's a lot of stuff that happened along the way. I think it was something to do with the sun as well, that Liverpool fans didn't like, and they made him feel not welcomes, in a sort of way. And it hurts him. It hurts him deeply. But sometimes you got to forgive, innit? Sometimes you got to forgive and realize what the player did for this football club. Like if you put 11 Liverpool players on the pitch, all-time great, he is one of them, whether you like it or not. So remember the player. I mean, the manager obviously got you an FA Cup, but Liverpool was always going to have to restart anyway. It just depended how we was going to restart, and he took it in the wrong direction, which got him the sack eventually. Then we moved on to this man, Roy Evans. Roy Evans is a fantastic guy, boot room scouser, Liverpool ex-player. But it was just not going to work. He was just not strong enough as a manager, unfortunately, if you know what I mean, Roy Evans. The players was running the asylum. You see the white suits back in the day in the FA Cup final against Man United. Everybody was walking all over him. He wasn't strong enough, you know what I mean? And played exciting football, plays free at the back, don't get me wrong. Where Amarin is playing right now, and with Xavi Alonso, he was the first one to bring that free at the back on a consistent basis. But it was just not strong enough, you know what I mean? The players were too powerful in those times. Collymores, Neil Ruddocks, Fowlers and all that stuff. They did well, don't get me wrong, but they just couldn't get it over the line, you know what I mean? And it just didn't work out. In my opinion, we needed a stronger manager at the time. Roy Evans was good, being a reserve team manager. He's always successful in that one. I know they wanted to go the route of boot room, But sometimes you got to look at the character, the aura of the manager, and he didn't really have that, unfortunately. That's why he didn't have a job as a manager after Liverpool. You know what I mean? No offense, you know what I mean? The great guy, love him to pieces. He's done a lot for Liverpool Football Club, on and off the pitch. I'm never gonna, say anything bad about Roy Evans. But as a manager, the job was just too big for him. We needed a stronger person that's going to take us to the next level, if you know what I mean. Especially, when Graham Souness, took us to where what happened, and the success just disappeared slightly. We needed someone else that's going to get us through that, and it wasn't Roy Evans, to be fair. Liverpool tried this afterwards. Let me show you. A joint manager with Roy Evans and Gerard Houllier. It just didn't work out. It didn't make sense. Nobody ever done that in Premier League history. I can't remember any other team doing that, joint managers. Because when you got joint managers, who are the players going to go to? Are they going to go to him, or are they going to go to him? You know what I mean? They're going to be confused as time goes on. So they said they want to bring in Gerard Houllier to help out Roy Evans, make decisions and all that stuff. But when it confused the players, the team just went into different directions that didn't make sense, and we was poor. We was really poor with joint management. Well, Gerard Houllier took over as a manager. Obviously, he's won the treble, which is the League Cup, the UEFA Cup at the time, and the FA Cup. It wasn't the most exciting football that we watched. Let's just be realistic here, but it got us back to where we belong, which is competing for European titles. As they say, sometimes you got to start from the bottom to go to the top, and that's what Gerard Houllier done for us. Like, obviously he got sick as well when we was in the Champions League. I remember that Roma game when he came back, and I think it was Heskey that scored a header or something. Capello, welcomed Gerard Houllier back to his hot seat. But the guy wasn't the same anymore. I've got to be real. Gerard Houllier wasn't the same anymore. And you can see that he was struggling health-wise. So Liverpool decided like it was time to go, But the most important thing is he got us back to where we belong, which is Champions League football, competing at the top, and being back to the elites of football. That's what he did for us, and I'll never forget that about Gerard Houllier. It wasn't the most exciting football, but sometimes you got to go down that route in order for you to get back up to the exciting football, if you know what I mean. So at least he did that. At least he made an impact. Rafa Benitez came in, great manager, great guy. Got us Javi Alonso and Garcia when he came in his first, obviously in his spell. Marco Owen left. Marco Owen wanted to be part of, Real Madrid, thinking like he could take over from Ronaldo and Raul Gonzalez. It was never going to happen. You know what I mean? And then if it doesn't work out, Marco Owen said, "I'll come back to Liverpool." Mate, you ain't that special, bro. You know what I mean? You're not bigger than Liverpool Football Club. And we remember, in his first season, the 2005 Champions League final, the most dramatic final in history of the game. We come back from 3-0 down, and the rest is history. We got our fifth Champions League. Rafa Benitez was a great manager. I liked his type of football. He played the old style football, which is 4-4-1-1, and it worked, to a certain extent. But when you got the likes of Man United and Alex Ferguson in the other side, it was always going to be difficult for us to overturn that, unfortunately. And yeah, man, it was good times. Don't get me wrong. I loved every moment of Rafa Benitez. Obviously, we I think 2007 we made it to another Champions League final. We got there. It was this time it was better than Barcelona, but it went the other way. Inzaghi, I think, scored a goal or something, a couple of goals or something, and they won that game. But yeah, I really enjoyed that Rafa Benitez time. I can't say anything more than that, really. It's just at the end, after 2008-2009 season, when we lost only 2 games, and then we went for the next season. Obviously, we had those 2 cowboys in charge of our football club. The club was in trouble at the time as well. He tried to like swap, Barry and Alonso. That's when the fans said, "Are you crazy, man? Alonso and Barry, that's 2 different players. You don't do that, man." And as the clubs was going down in regards to the 2 cowboys that we had in the past, he left without good wishes as well. You know what I mean? So I'll forever be grateful to Rafa Benitez, bringing us back to the the European stage and winning that Champions League final, which is always going to be remembered. You know what I mean? Rafa Benitez is always going to have that. It's always going to have that affiliation with Liverpool Football Club after that Champions League final, especially. Yeah. Roy Hodgson took over, and everybody knows how that went. Not many fans wanted him, but we gave him a chance. We gave Roy Hodgson a chance. We didn't really say, "Oh, get him out the door straight away." But when he started playing started buying the likes of Paulson and Konchesky's and all these guys, it was a bad period at Liverpool Football Club. I didn't really enjoy it. I think a lot of fans were in the stands even fighting each other at the time, as I remember. We was getting tickets. Some people even want to give us tickets for free. It was so bad at Liverpool Football Club at the time. But listen, it brought us all together at the end, and we took our club back, obviously, from the two Cowboys, and FSG came in, and the rest is history after that. But yeah, listen, Roy Hodgson was never a Liverpool manager. I got to be realistic here. We gave him the opportunity that he wanted, but it just didn't work out. That's how it is. That's how football is. Not everything is always going to be rosy at the end. You know what I mean? So the players that he brought in clearly showed it was going to be a tough time at Liverpool Football Club. Yeah, but it is what it is. Abdul says, end of an era. Yeah, it is an end of an era, man. I'm going to miss Klopp, bro. I'm going to really miss Klopp. I'm going to miss those Champions League nights. I've been to a few of them in the club as well. And, without him, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. But we've got to give the new guy a chance, man. Got to give the new guys a chance. I will miss Klopp. Yeah, there you go. Abdul. Redbird says, adopted Scouser, you're going to never walk alone. Thank you for everything. Now let's do as the great man said and get behind slot from Klopp to slot. 100% agree, Redbird. 100% agree, brother. Big up for the Dank. How do you say Dank? I think that's how you say it. Klopp. Thank you, Klopp. Yeah, in German. Yeah, man. That guy done a lot for us, people. You know what I mean? He done a lot for us. If you talk about a manager and a football club, we're just like carbon copy of each other, man. We're just carbon copy of each other. Let's just be realistic here. So the king returned after Roy Hodgson, to steady the ship. I really thought it was going to be only for one season, but he stayed on. Won us the League Cup, as I remember. He brought Carroll in and Suarez. Got obviously Torres left for Chelsea at the time as well. As you know, the club was in a mess. You know what I mean? When before Kenny came in, the fans were fighting each other. We didn't know if we were gonna get bought or not. It was just a mess. You know what I mean? So they needed someone special at Liverpool Football Club that can bring us back together, and that's what Kenny Dalglish did. I went to a few games of his. I've never been in the 80s. You know what I mean? Because I was too young. Those times are different. But I watched a few Kenny Dalglish games. That's how I met some of the people on Facebook. And it was great to see the greatest player and one of the greatest Liverpool managers at the dugout again, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because I thought in my lifetime I would never see Kenny in the dugout, and I did. I can say I finally did in one stage in my life as well. So yeah, but he brought us back together, people. He got us back on track. People can say FSG let him go in a strange way. You know what I mean? Taking him all the way to America and just sacking him over there, giving him, a non-executive role to be part of the club. But every club needs a legend, people. You know what I mean? When you're going to get new managers in, when you're going to get new players in, you need, someone like Kenny, to welcome people in, as they do in Real Madrid with their legends, and Bayern Munich with their legends, if you know what I mean. So yeah. At least I saw Kenny Dalglish, people. That's the most important thing. We saw Kenny Dalglish as a manager finally, just to steady the ship and take us to the next level. And then Brendan Rodgers, everybody knows, took over. We had one great season with Brendan Rodgers, but I've always said he's not very bright as a coach. He'll give you that idea in the beginning. He'll give you that hope in the beginning. Doing Pep Guardiola style of football and all this stuff. but it fades away as he did at Leicester, as he did at Celtic, and all that stuff. The documentary, we did the first football documentary in this country, didn't we, on Channel 5, as I remember, in the USA. If you're wondering why Sterling pushed the move to leave Liverpool, it's because of things like that. When he was shouting at Sterling, in the documentary, like making him look like an idiot. And then Sterling decided to leave after that, if you know what I mean. So, great times, don't get me wrong, like that season that we nearly won the league. We keep saying that a lot, unfortunately. But, it was just not good enough as a manager. I got to be real. Obviously, the season after, he brought in the likes of Moreno, Balotelli, to replace Suarez. It was just went all pear-shaped. He got rid of his assistants. And, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And then, if you have only one plan in football and you don't have other plans with that, this is the kind of performances you're going to get on the pitch. And Brendan Rodgers, you could see what's happened to him in previous, after Liverpool as a manager. Leicester got relegated because of his management. Celtic fans had a go at him in the beginning of the season. They didn't enjoy the type of football they were playing. Obviously, he's won the league now, but yeah, he's just one-dimensional, man. He's not very, bright as a manager, in my opinion. That is, anyway. Like, it's not. I might be harsh, but I'm being serious. Like, good managers, they have their own ideas. They don't copy other people, and he just copies people. Which is not the way to go about it, if you know what I mean. Abdul says, "Hi Fozzy and guest, how are you? Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for everything, Klopp. And now we need to move on and see. So we need to move on, see how FSG, Edwards, Hughes, Ward, new backroom staff, Arne Slot will perform next season." Yeah, listen, bro, we've got to move on. Because if you stand still, other teams catch you up, and they overtake you. So we don't want to be going through that stage. We already have Arsenal up there with us stepping back in the last season, if you know what I mean. So we don't want to go through that. We want to go still competing, still up there with the rest of them, and still be Liverpool Football Club. That's what I want, if you know what I mean, Abdul. So hopefully we'll continue on the slot and give the guy an opportunity, if you know what I mean. So after Brendan Rodgers, everybody knows who came next, which is the German professor, the German professor, as many say. We all know what Klopp done, what he has done at Dortmund and Mainz. Before that, I didn't even know we played against him against Mainz with Rafa Benitez. I didn't even know we did that. Someone told me that the other day. I think we was looking at the likes of Ancelotti, and Ancelotti refused to work for Liverpool because we didn't have the finance power to help him out a lot. But we settled for Klopp eventually, and that was a perfect fit for us, if you know what I mean. The only thing in the Klopp era that's an issue, in my opinion, is we didn't help him out when we was winning. We didn't help him out financially when we was winning. If we helped him out financially when we was winning, then I think we could have prolonged his stay at Liverpool Football Club, if you know what I mean. It's sad. It's really, really sad. But listen, the guys won us all those trophies, which is the Premier League, the Champions League, the Super Cup, the World Club Cup, the League Cup, the FA Cup. All the trophies. You could say Community Shield, if some people want to say that. I don't count that as a trophy. Because in the old days, teams used to share it, so they all. That's how they think about that Community Shield. He's won us everything. He's won us everything in the top level, if you know what I mean. So you got to give him credit for that, people. Everybody talks about Klopp winning it once, but I've seen great managers didn't even win it once. So what are you talking about? Arsenal Football Club have never won the Champions League. So that's another thing as well. So if everybody's saying he won it once, he's not a Premier League legend. Well, there's a reason we've got 5 substitutions. You know what I mean? There's a reason we think outside the box in the Premier League. It's because of him. You know what I mean? He keeps bringing up things they use eventually, but they don't give him the credit that he deserves because it was his idea in the first place, if you know what I mean. There's a winter break because of Jurgen Klopp as well. So, yeah, man. It's sad. It's sad. I'm gonna miss this guy, man. It's tough. It's really really tough because as I went through managers, I made you realize like, well, we had to get through 8 managers to get to Jurgen Klopp, if you know what I mean, people, or 7 managers to get to Klopp, and that was 30 years. 30 years, people, like we sat here thinking like it's never gonna happen again. When he came through the door, you know what I mean. The guy says, "I want to turn you guys from doubters to believers. If I don't win a title at Liverpool in the next, was it 4 years? I'll manage in Switzerland somewhere." That's what he said. I'll never forget those quotes. And he delivered, man. And he delivered over that as well. Because if you think about where we was, finishing 6th, 8th, and all that stuff in previous seasons, the guy's got us back to where we should be. And there's no doubt about that, man. One thing we've got to stop doing is listening to rival fans who are trying to bring us down to their level, like Man United fans, City fans, you know, Arsenal fans. Yo, he's only won 1 Premier League. You never won the Premier League. That's what we used to get before that. You never won it. You never won it. Like Liverpool only existed during the Premier League era. Like, there was a first division before that. I won first division titles. I was alive when we won the first division titles. Doesn't my first division titles count? You know what I mean? It's crazy. Why do we have Bobby Chow and George Best and all that stuff outside Manchester if that doesn't really matter? You know what I mean? So it's crazy. It's crazy when people say things like that. So yeah, ignore the haters, man. Ignore the haters. Klopp, it has been a success at Liverpool Football Club and beyond as well, because he made us believe again when we doubted it. You know what I mean? I had my doubts. I had my reservations. You know, I've given up in regards to Liverpool winning titles again after waiting more than 30 years. He made me believe, man. And that's one special thing that he has. And you saw him yesterday when he was talking on the microphone. Look at that, man. It brought tears to my eyes, man. I'm thinking, how is he doing that, man? It takes a special person to do things like that, if you know what I mean, people. And he did it. And the most important thing is, people, Jurgen Klopp did it his way. And nobody can take that away from him. Nobody can take that away from him. He did it his way. Let me go to Twitter and listen to Anfield singing "You Never Walk Alone," because we've got to listen to that, innit? One last time. I mean, the last time I think it was the League Cup final. So let's listen to it one last time, man. Liverpool. What a team. There's no team like us, man. There's no team like us. Let's listen to this as well.
Might be some people say, I love you. That's what I can say.
We love you too, man.
The football you are able to play, it's absolutely ridiculous. I can't wait watching you developing, maybe the next steps, becoming third. I don't even know yet who became champion. Huh?
That's how much we care. Nobody cares.
So that's where we are, us, and who can do that again. I said it this morning. There might be some people who say, that's not enough. I tell you, they don't have a clue about football. So, could we have done that in moments? Yes. Of course, that's always possible. But did we do better than you can usually expect? Oh, yes. Because it takes longer to become a top team again. And you did that like this. And that's my expectation. and then we couldn't keep their pace. That's the problem a little bit. And besides that, becoming third in the first season.
Life is an education.
2.0, and from now on, with new energy from outside, for you, with new influences, with new push, with new, proving yourself and all this kind of thing, that's good for squeezing everything out of your career. So it's already too much for that book. I don't want to say I love you. It was absolutely outstanding. Thank you for the ride. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud that I have been allowed to be part of this. Thank you very much. And the sky's the limit for the world. Thank you.
I love that, man. Love that, man. Sad, isn't it? Sad seeing that, man. Sad seeing that. There you go. Nothing like this guy. Nothing at all, man. Modern day Shankly, people. Modern day Shankly. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that, man. Special, special guy, man. I'm gonna miss those days, man. I'm gonna miss those days. So, yeah, let's get back to the pictures and discuss it further. Yeah, let's get back. I don't want to get the Kleenex out again, people. You know what I mean? I think I paid enough, man, for them. So enough. No more Kleenex. No more Kleenex. No more Kleenex. Yeah. So listen, with Jurgen Klopp, we've got to be realistic, people. As I said, to me, he's a success, and even more because when Liverpool Football Club doubted itself, forgot what we was, and everybody was making fun of us, he came in and changed everything. And now we've got that base, like he always says. We could take it to the next level as a football club, as a fan base, and you know, the new manager coming in. I've always been told when Shankly left, everybody thought that's the end, but Paisley took it to the next level and dominated the league and the European stage. So that can happen again, but it just depends on us. When things go bad, don't give up. You know what I mean? When things go right, support the team and give them that helping hand. We've got to do everything in our power, people, to keep the momentum going towards that direction, not this direction, if you know what I mean. So think about it that way. All that rivalries that we do sometimes as a fan base. Oh, I'll support Liverpool longer than you. I'll support Liverpool more than you. All this stuff. Forget about that. Throw that out the window. Just support the club as a whole. All of us together. I mean, and this is what this Arne Slot needs. I mean, the good you do for people, the extra yard they will do for you in return. So let's just do that, people. Let's do that. It's good to reminisce sometimes, but it's good to move forward as well, if you know what I mean. If players are going to leave that we love, let them go. It's time to go. You know what I mean? New players come in, let's support them. Let's give them a chance. Give them a helping hand. That's what we've got to do, people, if you know what I mean. So Klopp is gone, but Liverpool Football Club is still here, and we ain't going nowhere. We're always going to be here, even before our time. You know, even when our time is up, it's still going to be here. So remember that, people. Remember that. I mean, so it's not the end. Like he said, it's just the start. You know, like football clubs had rivalries, like, you know, Ferguson versus Wenger. Look how good that was back in the day. But they never dominated Europe and the league. But these two did. You know what I mean? And you saw Pep Guardiola after the match, you know, saying Klopp got the best out of him. You know what I mean? As a manager. Made him a better manager, better human being as well, he said. So, you know, that rivalry is always going to be there with them too. No matter what we do, we're going to be talking about it for years to come, because I've never seen the teams in the same league dominate Europe and dominate the Premier League at the same time. So remember that, you know what I mean? Remember that happened under these two managers. Even Pep Guardiola said, I have the finance and all the help that I can get at my club. and he knows Klopp hasn't got that, and he was respectful in that way. If they both had the same kind of thing, we don't know where Klopp could have been. But think about it this way: Klopp won the Champions League before Pep at Liverpool, and in the Premier League wise, that is, and he competed with less resources. Can you imagine if he had more money? Yeah, it'd be crazy. I'm gonna miss this rivalry, man, because rivalries brings competition, innit? If you look at these two, look how good that was back in the day. Ferguson and Wenger, like on and off the pitch, it was just a rivalry that's to be reckoned with. And then we haven't seen like something like that until these two. Although it was respectful, but you could see if one loses, the other one didn't like it. It's back and forth. It's just amazing. It's amazing. That's one thing I'm gonna miss when the next seasons as well. Hopefully Slot will get back, get us back there to compete with the likes of City and now Arsenal. We know what we need. We don't need much. You know what I mean? This is from Fabrizio Romano. He says, Klopp, people say you didn't spend enough. This is Liverpool way. We don't overspend. The other clubs with most money and best managers, they win it. We didn't have the best manager and never had the best team, but for a while we played the best football. I love that. See? So he's the most humble guy ever, mate. There's no a manager like this guy. He's a humble human being, and I'm gonna miss that from him. Like I said, if you look at Liverpool and him, carbon copy. You know what I mean? Pep Linders is gonna go and manage Salzburg. He's gonna be a head coach. They said head coach. Good luck to him. I know I said a few things about him and Buvic. I'm always gonna be a Buvic guy. But he's done a lot for Liverpool Football Club in 2 spells. So good luck to him. I hope he succeeds in Salzburg and shows his managerial quality. I really hope he shows that because he deserves it. Done a lot for Liverpool Football Club. Don't know that about that. Peter Kravitz is always going to be where Klopp is going to be. So if Klopp takes over the next club, you're going to see him there. So good luck to him. Thanks for everything. He stuck with us through thick and thin. He never complained. Never said he was leaving. He always said, if Klopp is going to stay, I'm going to stay. So I'm going to miss him. I'm going to really miss people like that. That's, 100% with the club and the manager, if you know what I mean. I'm going to miss Peter Kravitz, man, 100%. John Achterberg, goalkeeper coach. I think he came under Benitez. He used to play for Tranmere back in the day with John Aldridge. It's been a long time. It's been a long time, people. And you got to give him credit for sticking with us and coaching the goalkeepers at Liverpool Football Club. A lot of people say good things about him as well. So he's gonna go to El Ettifaq with Steven Gerrard. He's gonna go earn a big bucks down there. Good luck to him. And thanks for everything, man. Thanks for everything. Vitor Matos is gonna go with he's gonna go to Salzburg with Pep Linders. If you look at the youth at Liverpool Football Club, this guy nurtured them. He looked after them. He made them, become the players that they are right now. If you look at the players that come through this season, he played a big part. This guy, man, and I'll forever be grateful. I'm gonna miss him, man. He's a top coach, man, and it's gonna be difficult without him because we need something similar in return for the youth to develop. If you know what I mean, at Liverpool Football Club, because we need people like that. I'm gutted he's leaving, though. I'm really gutted he's leaving. Yeah, sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. Hello, let's go. That time is it? Okay. We discussed this the other day about Joel Matip. If he said his final goodbyes, one of the best free transfers in history, in my opinion, at Liverpool Football Club. No doubt about that. I'm gonna miss him. Without Van Dijk, without Joel Matip, Van Dijk ain't the same player, and he complimented him in a huge way since he's been at Liverpool Football Club. I'm gonna miss him. Thiago, not long at Liverpool, injuries hit his career, but he showed us glimpses of the world-class player that he is. And I'm gonna miss that because I was one of the advocates for him to come to Liverpool Football Club. And it is what it is, isn't it? It's not always going to be rosy, but as Jurgen Klopp said, he's quality. If he wasn't injured a lot, with his quality, he would have been an amazing player at Liverpool Football Club. He hasn't got the legendary status, but yeah, I will never forget him. Richard says, congratulations to City win 4 in a row. Yeah, there's no doubt about that, man. I have to say, we have to be, gracious in defeat, as I say as well, man. I know we don't like them. I know we know they cheat, but we're different, aren't we? Gracious in defeat, as I say. I ain't congratulating shit. Fuck City. Okay, Hollywood. How do you think about Arne Slot? How do you think about Arne Slot? I don't know a lot about him, bro. I know he plays similar to Klopp. I know he does the gegenpressing and all that stuff. But the most important thing about Arne Slot, he keeps possession better. That's one thing people don't know, if you know what I mean. Richard says, I'm going to give a congratulations to City. Alexandra says, yeah, Redbird LFC got structural problem. Structural problem. And now we have a different manager who will need time need time. Not great. Oh, okay. All right. No problem with that. If you want to do it that way. Yeah. So, yeah. Thiago, thank you for the memories. Thanks for everything like that. One thing I liked about Jurgen Klopp's, goodbyes is singing the Arne Slot song, and he asked for the fans to sing it, and I'll never forget that. When a manager does that, it shows the character of him, and it shows what kind of human being he is, and for him, to give that respect to the next manager. It shows what we had. We wasn't wrong about Jurgen Klopp either. That's the most important thing. Yeah, it made me sad when I saw that, man. What a man. What a man. So Arne Slot, is the next manager at Liverpool Football Club. He announced it. Klopp announced it. Soon the club is going to announce it. Let's give him time, people. Let's give him patience. Let's give him all the support that we can. Let's give him, the Liverpool way of thinking as well. It's going to take him time. He's going to have to get his own players in. He's going to have to persuade the majority of these players to stay. It's going to be a difficult job in the beginning. But, with time and patience, hopefully he'll be successful. And that's where we come in, and we have to play our part. Don't start getting upset after one game when things go, wrong. Please, you know what I mean? And start calling for Klopp and messaging Klopp come back and all that stuff. Enough of that. Like what I've always said in the past, when managers leave or someone leaves a football club in the first spell, just let it go. Because the second spell is never the same. And there's a lot of people. Look at Robbie Fowler. Look at Kenny Dalglish. Look at all these people that came back in the second spell. It was never like the first spell. So just be careful how you go on that. Klopp's gone. Say thank you, goodbye, and I hope your future is success. You know what I mean? So that's what you gotta say. Just let it go. Let the past go, as I say. Who is Liverpool going to buy and sell this summer? From Abdul, I don't know, bro. I have no idea. The nucleus of the squad is there. Average age is 24. Is Slot gonna get his own players in? Are the current players gonna stay? There's a lot of things we have to discuss, man. You know what I mean? A lot of heartache still gonna come towards you people. We have to go through it somewhere somehow. We have to go through it somewhere somehow. Which area Liverpool need to strengthen? I've always said it. We need a mobility DM. Love Endo, what he done this season. I'm never gonna forget that. But we need a guy in that midfield that can dominate, keeps possession better, win the ball back, help the defense, complement the defense when they need help. Like a Kante, like a Makaleli, like someone like Mascherano, Graham Souness, someone like that, that doesn't take any BS in that midfield. That's what I want, mate. That's what I want. And hopefully we'll get that player. Abdul says, what's going to happen to Liverpool in next 2, 3 or 5 years? We don't know. We can't read the future, can we, people? But like I said, don't expect anything next season. Don't put too much pressure on the team. Let them figure out what they want, and then we'll see where we're gonna go. I mean, because there's a bedding period in it, so the manager needs to understand how we play, and set the formations that's gonna win us games. Play different type of football in certain times of the season, you know what I mean? Because there's 3 periods, as I always say. The first period is open football, everybody tries to find their way. The second period is when teams look at the table and say we might have to tighten up a little bit. The third period is shut up shop. I mean, every team's going to step back and you have to break them down. So there's those 3 periods, we need to find a way to win games next season. So when teams deep line defense is what we struggle against the most, how are we gonna go overcome that? That's what we need to do next year, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Hollywood Rock says, as soon as destroy Liverpool, my dad always tells me, yeah, you can say that, bro. But the team was aging, bro. The team was aging, and he tried to change things too big, too quick, and it destroyed them at the end. It's different ambition between us and City. They move on players very quick, and we baby and let players control their careers. That's the problem we got at sometimes, mate. We let players run their contract down. which we shouldn't do. We should always, if they don't want to sign, at least they have a resale value, sell them on. You know what I mean? That's what we should be doing. Richard says FSG, Julian Ward, Marco Edwards, Richard Hughes. Arne Slot will have pulling power on world class players and win trophies. I hope so, Richard. I hope so. But it's not all about world class players. It's the players that fit the system. That's what we need to do. You know what I mean? And that's how we won the league title and Champions League. We didn't buy world class players. We bought players that fit the system that we have on the pitch, and that's what we need to do. It's not always spending like £100 million on one player. Prime example, Chelsea. Hassan says, congratulations to Liverpool. Thank you, man. Thank you. Much appreciated, Hassan. Please like, share, subscribe, people, and all that good stuff. I appreciate everyone that's on. I know it's a short notice and all that, but, it is what it is. Yeah, so Abdul, we ain't winning anything next season. We don't know. Klopp, congratulations. Hassan said, welcome on the slot. That documentary was shit. Come on, envelopes, for fuck's sakes. Come on, Hollywood Rock, please, bro. Richard says, new chapter, an era for Liverpool Football Club. Yeah, new chapter and era, man. Nunes has no clue what Klopp is saying. It's time to go for Nunes, let's be honest. Our new chatterbox or trophy machine. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, bro. We have to say. Lucky says, thank you, Klopp. Yep, we've got to be realistic, people. Time is changing, and things are changing at Liverpool Football Club. Let's get behind the new manager. Let's show him what Liverpool Football Club is all about. And let's welcome in, the new players that's coming in. And let's welcome in, the new era of Liverpool Football Club. It's going to take time. But, what we're all about. We give time and patience and we support. That's what we need to do. Thank you to Klopp. I'm going to miss him. Look what I wore today. I will never forget this. Never, ever, ever, ever forget this. I mean, he got the Champions. He's got the Premier League for me that I've been waiting for 30 years, over 30 years. And I'll be forever grateful to him. Time, like, it's been 9 years, but it flies by, doesn't it, people? Like, 9 years, it's just like that. I remember when he walked in through the door, you know what I mean? With that jeans and blazer he had on, and the glasses. And Ian Ayre still being at the club as well. I remember that. But he never failed, has he? He said he was going to do what he did, and he did it his way. And we've done everything. We've done everything, and at least we could say we was the best team in the world in this era. I mean, we was the best team in the world for at least 2 or 3 years in this era. So we can say that. We always can say that, and no other club can take that away from us. I mean, now it's Arne Slot time, people. Let's get behind him, and let's do the next chapter. Like I said, from Shankly to Paisley. Look what happened then. Take care, everybody. I'm done out here. Take care. Please like, share, subscribe as well. Appreciate everyone.